Hi, my name is Vic. I'm deaf and I make videos about sign languages. Today, I'm going to focus on a topic that's really important in all sign languages, dominant hand and weak hand. So in all sign languages, you will have a dominant and a weak hand. The dominant hand is the hand that you would write with. So if you're right-handed, your dominant hand is your right hand, your weak hand is your left hand. That's the case for me. But if you're left-handed, your dominant hand is your left hand, your weak hand is your right hand. That means that you can have two people signing to each other, same sign language, using opposite dominant hands. There's no prejudice against being left-handed in the deaf community. In sign languages that use one hand for fingerspelling, your dominant hand is the one that does the fingerspelling, and your weak hand does nothing while you're fingerspelling. In sign languages that use two hands for fingerspelling, your dominant hand is the one that's moving, and your weak hand is the one that's staying still when you're fingerspelled. In terms of signing, any one-handed sign is signed with your dominant hand. Two-handed signs where one hand moves and one hand is stationary, the dominant hand is the one that moves. And two-handed signs where both hands move, they just both move. So just examples of that using Irish Sign Language. If I wanted to fingerspell my name, it would use my dominant hand, which is my right hand, and I would go V-I-C. If I wanted to sign good, thank you, I, my, name, example, all of those are one-handed signs. I'm using my dominant hand, my right hand for all of them. Now, if I was left-handed, those signs would look like good, thank you, hi, example, name, my, perfectly opposite, and that's perfectly normal. So it's not the case that good would be like this if I'm right-handed and this if I'm left-handed. No. If I'm right-handed, good. If I'm left-handed, good. If I'm right-handed and I'm signing the word aunt, uncle. If I'm left-handed, aunt, uncle. So everything is reversed. And that's quite important because deaf people, we very quickly pick up on which hand is your dominant hand, and then we understand it that way. So if you have a sign like funny or false, funny, false, and then if you're left-handed, it's going to be funny, false. If you were left-handed and you signed funny down this side, I would probably think you were signing false because your hand is crossing your body. If we look at two-handed signs, where one hand is fairly stationary, let's say, for example, sick. So the dominant hand is making the open K, and the weak hand just lowers under learn. The dominant hand is moving to the forehead, the weak hand is just lying there. Study, teacher, commitment. And again, I'm left-handed. Those are going to look like learn, study. I'm not left-handed, so this is harder to do. Teacher. And then, of course, if we're using both, we have army. Now, you'll notice that my dominant hand is cross and above. My weak hand is near and below, army. If I was left-handed, army. So they can switch around. Father, right-handed. Father, left-handed. Family, right-handed. Family, left-handed. So even unless it's absolutely mirroring, like teach or agree, you will always sort of prioritize your dominant hand as the one that's uppermost, the one that's moving more, the one that kind of pushes the sign, and the weak hand will be sort of used less. And some people say dominant hand and non-dominant hand. That's okay too. You don't absolutely have to say weak hand, but that's just how I learned it. So when you are learning from videos and so on, what's important is that the hand that's moving more is the one that should be your dominant hand when you're signing. So if you see someone go like this, that doesn't mean you need to use your right hand and do left to right. If you're left-handed, you would use your left hand and go right to left. I hope that helped. Bye.